YouTube? It's been a while. Today I wanted to talk to you guys about my weight loss story. Why and how I lost the weight. Just kind of the struggle with it, what happened, just the nitty gritty, how I lost the weight. This is going to be a two-part video. This is going to be the weight loss side, and then if you guys know my story, you know that after my weight loss, I was left with loose skin. So I'm going to do a separate video on that struggle. So stay tuned for part 2. If you are new here, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button so that you don't miss out on anything. Please give this video a thumbs up, comment, everything to support my channel. It really means the world to me. If you are still interested in seeing my weight loss story, then just keep watching. Let's get into just the beginning of Christa. Back to even just from when I can remember, I have always, or used to always, hate my body. I had the worst self-esteem. There's no confidence. I was shy. I thought just the worst of myself, and it was really dark actually, just growing up. I remember my journal entries growing up was always so negative about myself, and it was always tearing myself down. It was always, I had a crush on so-and-so. I had a crush on my neighbor for the longest time. I never accepted the fact that I even had a chance with anyone, with a boy, and he had a crush on my friend, so I never thought I even had the chance, and I always equipped it to I wasn't skinny enough, I wasn't pretty enough, and so I wasn't enough, and that was also always my journal entries. I didn't make cheer because I was too fat. I didn't do this because I was too fat. It was so self-destructive. I remember I would always just cry about my body, and just I hated myself. I was so destructive. We moved to a new place, and I remember I was the new kid, and I would go into the bathroom and I would eat lunch in the stall. I would put my feet up and I would eat lunch in there so people didn't know I was sitting on the toilet eating lunch. That's the respect that I had myself. That's how self-degrading I was. By age 16, I started an aerobics class in high school. I loved it. I loved the way it made me feel. It made me feel confident. I started losing weight, I started feeling amazing, and I started getting attention from boys. To be honest, I hated it. I didn't like the attention, but I felt so good about myself and confident about myself that I loved myself more than the attention. And that was the first time that I remember, oh my gosh, I didn't mean to get emotional during this. That's the first time I remember actually loving myself and loving my body. And that's when I met my husband. I was 16. I was just shy of turning 17, and he was the first guy that didn't want to just make out and didn't want to just that I wasn't just a piece of meat. He was the first guy that took his time with me. I was just coming out of a dark time, and he taught me that I was worth so much more. But then we got married and high school ended. I gained weight. I wasn't doing my aerobics class anymore. I was happy. I was eating whatever. I gained about 20 pounds after high school and just the marriage weight, And then I got pregnant with my first daughter, my first kid. That was when everything changed. That was when the weight, the bad stuff happened. So I had high blood pressure during my pregnancy at 7 weeks is when I started. So the very beginning. So about for 8 months. I couldn't do anything more than sit on the couch. Even just walking, I used to work at a care center, even just walking the halls would skyrocket my blood pressure. So I had to quit my job, and I literally couldn't do much more than just resting and sitting on the couch. I wasn't bedridden for 8 months, but pretty much. Needless to say, I gained 60 pounds during my pregnancy, on top of the 20 I had already gained after high school. So if you're not good at math, that's 80 pounds. That's a lot of weight. I'm about 5'8", so I carried it okay. I didn't feel like myself, and I don't feel like I was still happy. I was still confident. I still knew I was beautiful. I don't know if it's because from growing up just hating myself so much, I was just done hating myself. I didn't want to feel that way anymore. I couldn't hate myself. I still felt pretty. I still felt amazing, but I didn't feel like myself. I looked in the mirror, and every time I remember just being shocked. I'm just like, that's not who I feel like I am on the inside. I felt like I was this confident, beautiful, sexy girl, and then I would look in the mirror and be confused. And so, needless to say, as far as changing my habits, it wasn't even a question for me. It was just, I wanted to look the way that I felt, and so I got to work. I didn't know how to eat. I didn't know how to work out. And so basically I went to Walmart and I just bought workout DVDs and I started being active. I went and bought a bike and I would do the bike at home. Slowly started getting some weights, would do some weights at home, things like that. I lost a lot of weight. Then I started the Insanity program. And I was working out every single day really, really hard and I wasn't seeing any progress. And I just knew that something was wrong. And this was in 2011. So I went into the doctor and found out that I had hypothyroidism. That's why I wasn't losing the weight. I got on medication. It takes a good 6 weeks to see if that dose worked. And if it wasn't, then you switch the dose and then wait 6 weeks, switch the dose. So it was a long process. And we got pregnant like right as I found out I had that was when we knew we were pregnant, and I actually miscarried because of my hypothyroidism. My levels were all off and I ended up having a miscarriage in 2011. I had that miscarriage and it was pretty emotional, but once I found I had the hypothyroidism, I got to work. It took 9 months to find my right dose, but during that 9 months I was just working so hard and busting my butt and working out and continuing the Insanity program and just other workouts. And really quick though, I just want to get in the nitty gritty of what I did, how I lost the weight. So I always had this idea. So keep in mind, I was around the age, I had Braylon when I was 20. So this is between the age 20 and 23. I had this idea that losing weight was just, there was something that was going to fix it. There was something out there. I would watch infomercials and be like, okay, that pill is what's going to make me skinny. That workout is what's going to make me skinny. That program is what's going to make me skinny. Ordered hydroxycut. I tried phentermine. I tried HCG. I tried everything. Don't do HCG, by the way. I think that's what like caused my hypothyroidism. It's kind of what strung it at age 20, such a young age. But anyway, I always thought there was something that was going to make me skinny, that was going to change my life, but nothing worked. I had a little bit of success from the HCG diet, but like I said, that was basically just starving myself, and that was like the first thing I tried when I was at like over 200 pounds. Of course I was going to lose some weight, right? But anyways, after just trial and error and just figuring out that none of these things worked, and if they did work, I would just gain the weight right back, I learned that just eating healthy and working out was the answer. As simple as that. Changing just simple, everyday habits of eating. People overcomplicate it. It's not that complicated. If it comes in a box, it's probably not healthy for you. You know, the cookies, soda, top ramen, like just throw it out. Mac and cheese. Throw it out. Get wheat bread instead of white. Do skim milk instead of whole milk or almond milk. I do almond milk. Do reduce sugars. Just trying to drink a lot of water. Reduced sugars and sugar-free can be deceiving, so just be really careful with that. But I like to do stevia instead of sugar. Don't do artificial sweeteners. Artificial sweeteners aren't good. Artificial anything is never good. But stevia is from a stevia plant. It's natural, so that's a good option. Things like that. Just simple little switches in your habits, and you got to start small. You have to allow cheat meals. If you never give yourself a cheat meal, you're gonna end up just falling off the bandwagon. And what I found is the more healthy you eat, when you do eat that bad meal, it makes you feel sick. It makes you feel horrible, and you end up craving the good food and wanting to get back on track. And so it works. I mean, you can get really intense into like macros and counting calories and having specific meal plans, but honestly, like, of course, when you get further along in your journey, you have to tweak things here and there. But if you're just starting out, honestly, just keep it simple. Just simple changes. Reduce the sugar. Eat more clean, as clean as you can. Add in the greens. Throw in broccoli into everything. Hide your vegetables in food if you have to. I really enjoy working out. You know, even people who do enjoy working out, you have to get in the habit of it for it to become something that you don't hate. So it's something that you have to definitely be consistent with, and it makes it a lot easier. You don't have to get fancy with a gym membership. I, of course, prefer the gym membership because it encourages me to actually work out. I'm paying for it monthly. I gotta go. There's classes. You can plan, okay, I gotta go at this time because that's when this class is. You can go to women classes so you don't have to feel self-conscious. If you don't know what you're doing, I paid a personal trainer for a year to kind of just teach me the machines, teach me reps, teach me things like that. There's Google, there's YouTube, there's so many options. There's a ton of different groups on Facebook you can get involved in. And as far as keeping myself motivated, I definitely surround myself with what I want to be like. I have, you know, my Instagram, my fitness Instagram. I only follow people who are on fitness so that I can hop on that Instagram and just be inspired and motivated. And if I'm ever feeling blah that day, I'll just hop on Instagram and get that, you know, motivation that I need. So being consistent and just keeping yourself motivated is key. I try to not go more than a day without working out, because if I feel like when I go 2 days in a row without working out, 2 days turns into 3, turns into 4, things like that. So if I go 1 day without, I'm like, okay, I didn't work out yesterday, I have to work out today. So just little things like that. You know, find what works out for you, what works for you. You can put up banners on your wall. You can write daily motivation things, daily reminders, set something in your back screen on your phone. Long story short, I ended up losing about 65 pounds, and I was the leanest that I had ever been. I felt amazing. I felt on top of the world. Cloud 9. I just felt amazing. But we knew we wanted to have one more kid. But with the weight loss, I started to notice that I had a lot of loose skin. But it was bad, but like it wasn't that bad. And I noticed it and I didn't like it, but we knew we wanted to have one more kid. And so I just figured, you know, I was going to eat healthy during my new pregnancy and things like that. And so we had another baby, super healthy pregnancy. He came a month early on his own. I only gained 20 pounds in the 7.5 months I was pregnant, 8 months I was pregnant. I lost all the weight within like 2 weeks. So I was right back to where I was at with 65. I was at 60 pounds weight loss, but I was left with this loose skin. I'm gonna save this part for the next video, but basically, for the first time in a long time, I hated my body again. I was ashamed of my body. I felt deformed. I was really ashamed of my body for the first time in the longest time, and it was the worst feeling. And anyway, I'm going to save this part for part 2 though, and I'll talk to you more about that and the process of what I had done after that. Save that for part 2. I will link in this video. Once part 2 is posted, I will link it in this video. That's the end of part 1. That's my weight loss story. But I did end up losing 5 more pounds, totaling 65 pounds before my surgery. That's my video. That's how I lost the weight. That's my weight loss story, the emotional struggle. Make sure you guys subscribe. All the links to my social media are in the description below. Please give this video a thumbs up. It really helps support my channel. And yeah, until next time. Bye, guys. Really, train? Really? Don't mind this train. It's so loud. So loud. So like I'm wearing a shirt. I am wearing a shirt. I'm definitely wearing a shirt. You done, bruh?